Hello and welcome back to Cooking with Ollie. Today we're gonna be making falafel wraps. Alright, come on over. Here are the ingredients you're gonna need. Today we're gonna make 6 wraps for 3 people. I suggest 2 wraps per person. We got some lettuce, we got some wraps. I got whole wheat that just feels more, it's tastier, I like it more. You can also get another sort of wrap. We got some cheese, we got some falafel, and we got some sauce. So let's get cooking here. Alright, we're gonna start out with getting the wraps out of the package and putting them into some foliage. Alright, here we go. We got them on the foliage now. Now most of the times I just kind of guess here how far I need to go. I think this is pretty good. I don't usually do this perfectly, to be honest. I most of the time mess it up a little bit like I did right here. But that's fine, it's not that big of a deal. You want to make sure that at least most of the wraps is completely covered in the foliage, like so. There we go. This looks pretty good to me. And we're gonna pop that right into the oven. There we go. We want to put the heat on above and below, like this. 150 degrees for 10 minutes. There we go. Alright, so while that is going, we're gonna grab some olive oil. I did kind of forget to say that you need this in the beginning, but hey, it happens. You also need olive oil. So we're gonna put some heat on this little pitch right here. There we go. We're gonna put in some olive oil into the pan. A healthy amount in here. There we go. Yeah, that looks pretty nice. Alright, while we're waiting for the olive oil to heat up a little bit so that it spreads all out nicely, we're gonna already get ready the little chopping board that we got here for our lettuce. Now you all know how I like to do my lettuce. We're gonna use the same tactic as last time, of course. We're gonna lay it on here for now. Now we're gonna leave it there for a second. Because I think the olive oil should be just about ready now. In this package I believe there's exactly... I don't know how many there are. I don't know how many are here in here exactly. We're gonna find out. This is a new package, so I don't know exactly how many are in here, since this is a new package. But we're about to find out, I guess. Of course, the amount that we do have in here, that we're just gonna divide by 6, and then that is the amount we will be putting in each wrap. We got 1 little falafel.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14.
Alright, there we go. So that's of course not a perfect amount for the amount of wraps that we're going to be making, but that's no worry.
Hola, soy Dora.
Alright, we're going to put these puppies on a little bit higher of a heat, around 3.5. And we're just going to let this start cooking a little bit here. And while that is working, we're going to chop up the lettuce a little bit. So come on over again. You know how this goes. You first want to remove the little middle part right here. Absolutely disgusting that is. So we're just going to throw that right away. And then we're going to cut this up until it's all nice and small. And it looks pretty good to me already. Got some big pieces left here. Gotta chop them all up. There we go. Now. Alright, there we go. Of course we gotta wash this off just like last time. Make it sure to be nice and clean. And once again be a little bit moist. I really do like that. It just adds flavor to the wraps in a second. So yeah, there we go. This is pretty good. And once again we're just gonna let it drip out here. I'm gonna set it over here this time. and the water is slowly coming out. Alright, would you look at the falafels? This is going pretty good. Of course, they have all been on one side so far, so I like to flip them over a little bit right now. I usually just do this with a fork, get them to the edge, then just flip them over like this. They're not that far along just yet, so I think I'm gonna put up the heat in a second here so that they can start going a little bit faster. Roll them around a little bit and just give them a good second. It's quite impressive if you do manage to burn these, so don't be too scared to put them on a high heat. Of course, you can still burn them, but as I said, that's quite impressive if you manage to do that. Anyway, now we just kind of gotta wait for the wraps to be finished and for the falafel to be finished. So what we're gonna do in the meantime is just set up everything perfectly ready already. So we're gonna cut up the cheese back like this. The sauce is already here. This is gonna be my little workbench for making the wraps. So we got the cheese right here, we got the sauce right there. Lettuce will come over there in a second as well. And I like to set up the plates already. As I said, we're making it for 3 people today. Ooh, they are a little bit too hot now. Uh-oh. Yeah, keep turning them over. At this point you can just kind of do them like this. These are not the falafels I'm used to. We used to have different ones that were a little bit flatter. These are more round, but this is pretty good as well. But the other ones were easier to turn around, so now I'm just gonna kind of flip them over in the pan like this. And yeah, as I said, I have the plates ready now, so in a second I can just make the wrap, put it on a plate, and in a second I can just make the wrap, put it on a plate, and then it is all finished. And now everything is kind of nicely set it up. So all we have to do is just wait and turn around our falafels every now and then. Ah, there we go. There we go. You hear that? So together with the wraps now being done, I'm gonna pull off the heat of the falafel now as well. They're pretty good now. Of course, you can, if you like to cook them a little bit longer, you can do it a little bit shorter as well. The taste does kind of difference between how long you cook it, but I think everyone has a different preference in that. So, you know, whatever you like to do is fine. We're gonna take the wraps out of the oven here. There we go. And now, as I said, we have basically everything completely ready, set it up for ourselves to make some beautiful wraps. So I'm gonna take them out of the foliage right here, put that away for either a next time or whenever I need it for something. There we go. And how we're gonna make these falafel wraps is quite similar to how we made the shawarma buns. What we do, we take some lettuce. Of course, you want around 1/6 of your lettuce to go in each wrap. So you gotta kind of eyeball it unless you want to weigh it all out, but I don't really like to do that, so I'm gonna be eyeballing it. You put the lettuce in basically the middle. Come on over, and get a better shot of this. Put it in the middle like so. Then I like to add in a little bit of the cheese. Once again, around 1/6 of the package goes on here. There we go. That looks pretty good. And then what we do is... Alright, so what I've done here is I've basically divided the balls into 6 corners here, and then a 7th one in the middle. So each wrap will be getting 2 balls, or 2 falafels. And then out of all of the wraps, other wraps, 4 of them will be getting a half extra ball as well, and 2 of them won't be. It's not that big, much of a difference, don't get me wrong. So it doesn't really matter all that much. You can also just divide them into 3, both of these, and then you will have 1/3 on each, but that's too much effort for me today, so I'm not going to be doing that. So you take 2 of the balls. I like to either split them up into 2 or into 3 each, but for now we're going to do 2 of them. You divide them up like so, and then you divide them all over the wrap, just like this. Not too close to the edges, because then it might fall out. You get some sauce. Put as much on it as you like, not too much, because you don't want to get fat, but there we go. This is a healthy amount, I would say. You close the wrap up nicely, like so, and then you put it on the plate. I mean, it's quite easy, isn't it? Boom, there we go. Alright, so we had a little idiot right here that fell out of the wrap. That is fine. That's why you don't want to put it too close to the edge. We're just gonna shove it back in there like nothing happened. Alright, there we go. That is 6 beautiful falafel wraps. All completely done. I mean, you can get a nice shot of this. This is my world famous falafel wrap recipe. I really like this. It took me around 50 minutes to make. It's like no time at all. There's basically no dishes left. We got a little pan. We got this little thing. There's almost no trouble, no cleaning up work at all here. And it tastes really good. It's quite healthy as well. So yeah, there you go. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you in the next one.